Back in the 1970s, Larry Csonka hit a defender so hard it shattered his jaw and got flagged for it. He's still the only ball carrier in NFL history penalized for being too violent. Csonka was dangerous before he even played a down in the NFL. Csonka grew up on a farm in Stowe, Ohio, where he wrestled 700-pound cows and sprinted through stampedes by age 5. His childhood was more like a training camp. By high school, he was 6'3" and delivering hits like it came naturally. He didn't wait for contact to find him. He went and found it. Coaches noticed right away this wasn't a normal kid. He was a bull in the chute, just waiting for the gate to fly open. Csonka started at Syracuse as a linebacker, and a damn good one. But during a special teams play, the returner fumbled, and everything changed. The ball popped loose, bounced his way, and instinct took over. He scooped it up and charged ahead like he was late for dinner, and the defenders were on the menu. From that point on, he still wanted to hit people, but he wanted the ball while doing it. After one season on defense, the coaches moved him to fullback. Over the next 3 years, he ran for nearly 3,000 yards and averaged 4.9 yards per carry, a school record at the time. He changed positions, but not mindset. He was still a linebacker. He just happened to line up in the backfield. Csonka was drafted 8th overall by the Miami Dolphins, and the team was a mess. In his first 2 seasons, they went 3-11 and 4-10. But the bigger concern wasn't the losing, it was his head. He took a brutal concussion in his rookie year, spent 2 days in the hospital, and started blacking out during games. 3 weeks later, another concussion. The headaches wouldn't stop. Doctors got worried. A neurosurgeon even said publicly that if it kept up, he'd need a new career. To manage the risk, Csonka switched to a specially designed helmet that absorbed more shock. He also added a U-shaped bar to protect his nose, which he broke so many times they stopped counting. Blood in the huddle became normal. That helmet became part of NFL legend. Then came Don Shula. Gone were the lazy practices, beer breaks, and swim days under Coach George Wilson. Shula brought morning to night practices, 4-a-days in the Miami heat, and no water breaks. Most players dreaded it. Csonka, he thrived in it. And Shula did something nobody else had. He taught Csonka how to protect himself. Told him to stop leading with his head and start driving with his forearm. It didn't tone him down. It turned him into a weapon. Csonka seemed to enjoy punishing defenders. He liked knowing they'd feel it just as much as he did. From that point on, defenders weren't trying to stop him. They were just trying to survive. There's one play that perfectly captures the legend of Larry Csonka. Third quarter, Dolphins versus Bills. Csonka catches a pass in the flat, turns upfield, and drives his forearm straight into a defender's face, cracking his jaw. Flags fly. He wasn't on defense. He was the one with the ball. And yet, he became the only ball carrier in NFL history to be flagged for unnecessary roughness. It might have been against the rules, but it wasn't out of character. And it wasn't a one-time thing. Csonka made a career out of doling out punishment. In 11 seasons, he fumbled just 21 times. An insane stat for a guy who ran straight into danger on every play. His grip was iron, his pain tolerance legendary. The NFL later ranked him the 10th toughest player in league history. And if you're wondering why, look at the 1972 game against the Vikings. Mid-play, he took a hit so nasty to the lower back, he thought it was broken. He crawled off the field and, a few minutes later, went right back in. The Dolphins won the game, but it wasn't Csonka's toughness that stole the show. The broken noses, the concussions, the blood dripping in the huddle. It was all part of the job. Because for Larry Csonka, football wasn't about juking defenders, it was about running through them and daring them to get back up. By 1972, the Dolphins had figured it out with Csonka running right up the middle. That year, the team went undefeated, the only perfect season in NFL history. And it wasn't built on trick plays or flash, It was built on toughness. It was built on Csonka. 5 games into the season, quarterback Bob Grease fractured his leg. Most teams would have folded, but backup quarterback Earl Morrall stepped in and, with Csonka and the ground game leading the charge, kept the Dolphins rolling week after week. Csonka rushed for a career-high 1,117 yards. He and Mercury Morris became the first running back duo in NFL history to each top 1,000 yards in the same season. With Csonka saving his best for last, in Super Bowl VIII, he steamrolled the Minnesota Vikings for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns on 33 carries, setting a Super Bowl rushing record and earning Super Bowl MVP. This wasn't Walter Payton spinning away from contact. This was Csonka lowering his shoulder and daring defenders to stop him. The Dolphins won 24-7 and completed the perfect season, a record that still stands over 50 years later. They opened the 1973 season with 3 straight wins, stretching their streak to 18 games before finally losing to the Raiders in Week 4. But they bounced right back. Miami finished 12-2 and won another Super Bowl, locking in Csonka's place in one of the greatest runs in football history. But after years of dominance, change was coming. In 1975, Csonka left for the World Football League, but it collapsed within a year. He returned with the Giants only to suffer a knee injury on artificial turf, a surface he'd later blame for shortening his career. In 1979, he returned to Miami, racked up 837 yards, and earned Comeback Player of the Year. He retired with 8,081 rushing yards, 5 Pro Bowls, and a legacy built on pain. In 1987, he entered the Hall of Fame. In 2002, the Dolphins retired as number 39. Larry Csonka didn't talk much. He broke jaws, carried a perfect season on his back, and never asked for attention. You could measure his career in yards and broken bones. Either way, defenders never forgot him.